Okay, then, after the scoldings, let's continue reading. He sees himself as I leave the two residents. Akia dramatically exits from the living room, still weight heavy on my mind. But given the arcade is the root cause, even if I were to chase after her, try and explain, we'll just end up talking in circles. I feel bad for her. Until the dust has settled on his incident, I have no choice but to continue like this.
でもどうだろう。考えたこともなかったけど。
I wonder if I could choose to be honest and open up about everything I have been through. Even though there is a chance nobody will believe me, this is information that could help to keep the city safe. It's rarely late in the game, but it should start spreading awareness about vampires.
そうだよな。例えばネットで噂話として流すとか。
I take out my phone as I walk. Whether or not anyone will find it incredible aside, I should just post everything I've learned so far on some message boards. Whether people take it seriously or not, it's ultimately up to them. Telling everyone to trust me, these all caps will probably have the opposite effect. If I just publish the raw information, there is a chance it could circulate in a urban legend and serve as a warning that way.
もしもし、そこの君、ちょっと。ん
Someone calls to me, and I stop walking. When I turn around, I see an unfamiliar man wearing a suit.
俺のことですか？うん、君。だって君以外にこんな道歩いてる子いないでしょ。
He's right. We're on the road in front of the Tono residence, and the only traffic is usually getting out the car. The only people that come through here on foot are probably me and an employee of Toho's household.
それでさ、君さ、今この家から出てきたよね。もしかして中で働いている使用人さんの子かな？ならラッキーだよ。すごくラッキー。あ、俺じゃなくて君がね。お小遣い欲しくない？遠野家の人の話とかちょっと知りたいんだよね。
I keep my distance, though I can explain why. It's not because the man's insincere manner of speaking rubbed me the wrong way. It's more that I'm terrified by how intent he is. I get the impression that he's paying close attention to my every word, no matter how trifling, careful not to miss any clues as to my attitude.
あ、もしかして野じ馬だと思われてる？まあ野じ馬なんだけど、ちゃんと報酬弾むよ。特に知りたいのは、ほら、最近帰ってきたっていう長男の話。来たばっかりで写真資料もなくてさ、どんな外見なのか、好きな食べ物とか好きな女の子のタイプとか、ぶっちゃけ何に弱いのか教え。
The insincere man leaps up and down, clenching his privates.
そこの抜けた鍋かてめえ。どう見てもそいつが党の指揮じゃねえか。
What was his name? Marco? A kid? He looks like a male version of Saber. I guess he was hidden behind the other guy until now. This boy, who doesn't look like he could be much older than 12, must have been the one to kick the man in the groin.
マジっすか。全くブルジョワの匂いがしませんよね。
どんな匂いだそれ。金に匂いなんてねえだろ。それとも手垢の匂いってことか。金持ちはどいつもこいつも赤だらけってか。ずいぶん舐めた発言だなおい。
いえ、違います。成金だけ、一部の成金だけですってば。ほら、一日の半分を金勘定で浪費する氷菓子みたいな。
Like a step stand?
そりゃうちのジジイのことか。上司批判とはずいぶん太いな安藤。
What on earth have I stumbled into here? Maybe I should call the cops and let them deal with it?
ああ、そこ、無言で110番コールしない。なんで今時の若い子はドライに無駄なことばっかりするかな。ほら、俺これ。え？
I look up from my phone, on which I've already keyed the wine one. I went towards a black identification card. This is my first time seeing a police ID card up close, but there's no questioning that it's the genuine article.
警察手帳ってもしかして刑事さん？
そうだよ。怪しいもんじゃないよ。刑事さんだよ。警視庁捜査第一課、安藤優吾。なのにさ、昨日から門前払いでさ。こっちはちょっと話を聞きたいだけなのに、アポ取れって一点張りでさ。なんで仕方なく国道で張り込みしてたわけ。
These have to be the two most suspicious detectives I've ever met. However, regardless of whatever or not that ID card is the real deal, I'm curious why they're stalking out the area in front of our house. I want to know what they are up to. It's like I'm gonna listen to their question, but I have no obligation to answer them. I should find out more about their intentions. I can deal with them effectively if I don't even know what is there after.
俺でよければ話ぐらいは聞きますけど。要件は何ですか？
うん。北口駅前の火災のことだよ。ほら、当日と翌日まで現場を仕切ってた警備会社、お宅の子会社でしょ。もう引き上げちゃったけど、当日の責任者と話をしたいんだよね。連絡先とかわかる？
そうだったんですか。それは知りませんでした。ですので、俺には分かりかねます。
なに、長男なのに知らないの？そりゃ困った。やっぱり妹さんの方が実権握ってるわけ？
Ouch, he's perceptive.
どうしてそんな話を。口頭無形だとは思いますけど、あの火災の原因は東のグループの過失だとでも。
ん？そんな方針は持ってないない。ありゃどっから見ても自然発火だし。問題は別っていうか、ま、お家の人ならバラしてもいいか。もう知ってるだろうしね。昨日さ、地下陥没の瓦礫の下からちょっと良くないというか意味わかんないもんが出てきてね。鑑識もお手上げ状態でさ。あの土地だって遠野の持ち物でしょ。記録だと10年くらい前に遠野牧久が相場を上回る高額で買い取ったとある。そのあたりの事情聞きたいんだよね。なんで駅前の一等地を買っておいて公園になんかしちゃったのかなとか。
俺には何とも。牧久は亡くなりましたので。話はそれだけですか？
いや、妹さんに取り次いでくれないの？ちゃんと身分と目的話したよね。
あいにく妹は忙しい身なので。お引き取りください。話がしたいのならしかるべき手続きをしてからどうぞ。
I turn my back and begin to follow the road down the hill. I know what they are after now. I don't fully understand the situation, but I'm not about to let those shady detectives meet with Akia.
おい
The high-pitched voice brings me to a halt. If it had been Detective Ando, then I would have simply ignored it. But that boy's voice commanded such authority that I found it strangely difficult to oppose.
正義感も結構だが部をわきまえな。人間らしい死に方をしたいんならこの辺りが引き際だぜ。
なんだって。
I stopped in my track and stared at the young boy. Did this guy say ordinary human death just now?
何が言いたいんだ君。
言いたいことは今ので全部だマヌケ。これで聞かなきゃ勝手に死んでな。ほら帰るぞアンド。いい加減食事時だ。ケーキ食わせろケーキ。チーズと蜂蜜たっぷりなやつな。
Bleh.
仰せのままに。なんで俺日本に来てまでボンボンのおもりしてんだろうな。
A stranger will get in the car that was parked by the side of the road and off in the direction of the station. Those two didn't give out the impression of being police, but apparently the authorities are keeping an eye on our mansion. Not only that, but the land in front of the station where the incident occurred belonged to the Tono family.
いや、ただの偶然だ。
We must be right. I mean, the cave-in only happened because of Arquid's flawless way of doing things. There is no connection between the killing and the land north of the station. I shoo away my foreboding thoughts. Pulling myself together, I begin the long descent down the hill. My day settles back into a familiar routine. Fourth period, Modern Society. The teacher on the podium reads aloud from a rather bland, uninspired text. I'm lucky enough to sit by the window, so I calmly listen to the lecture. I take a good hard look at my own face reflected in the glass. I can't concentrate at all. Not because the lesson is boring, but because I'm still struggling to get to the grips with the situation I'm in. The conflagration in front of the train station, the claim of all those lives. The invasion of the city by a vampire. With those events in mind, as I sit there paying half an ear to the lecture, I turn my thoughts on myself. Needless to say, I have been acting strange. Anyone else in my position would certainly have barricaded themselves in their home, or have fled somewhere far away by now. And yet here I am, going about my day as usual. As I thought I'm trying to prove to myself that vampires are not vampires, is a banter merely abnormalities, and utterly worth abandoning my daily routine over. Though I'm being honest, it could just be down to the fact that as a student, I simply can't permit myself to skip school. Recall the conversation I had with Saiki Goto back at the mansion. If I were to put it in these words, studying is an investment in the future. It would be monumentally short-sighted to sacrifice the compound interest of tomorrow in exchange for a partial sum of safety today. Besides, it's soon a family money that keep me fed and watered. And we're going to living under the roof, and I should be sure to perform at least the bare minimum that is required for me for as a student, not out of obligation, but as a matter of honor. I wonder if such an attitude makes me servile or stubborn. It's also possible I'm simply thick-headed. Sensei once told me to become the person what you think is right. If I'm to continue to live by those words, then I must be sure to treasure each every ordinary day that passes. I squint at the sunlight streaming through the window. Only 20 more minutes until the end of the fourth period. Classes let out after fifth period today. I think about how us as a school ends and night falls. I'll once again be out roaming the city, side by side with Arquid. The face reflected in glass breaks into a smile, as for looking forward to something. I straightened my expression. It's not like I enjoy prowling around the city with Arquid all night, so what the hell am I smiling about? I knew I was having a hard time concentrating on the lesson. I didn't think I was this far gone. I must be pretty out of it if I'm started hallucinating visions of her elegantly swanning across the school ground. Wait, that's no hallucination. Being careful not to disrupt the class, or rather, being careful not to let anyone of their student notice what's going on. I edged a little closer to the window. Please, tell me there is just something wrong with my eyes. Yeah, that's no illusion. Much as I would love to pretend she's come a figment of my imagination, the woman in the courtyard is anything but. Does that vampire have nothing but cotton between her ears? What should I do? What she's going to do? I feel leave it to her on her own devices. Who knows what horror will befall my peaceful student life? No, calm down. Everything's okay. We don't have a problem just yet. 1 second. Yeah, as I thought. I hope it's not too loud. You can all still hear me. The other students have noticed her, and I don't hear any commotion from neighbor classroom. Either, fortunately, she seemed to be situated such that she's only visible from the classroom at the moment. I swear to God, this woman is a veritable walking disaster. At my wit's end, I curse her from the bottom of my heart. However, doing that doesn't solve anything. There is 20 minutes left until lunch. If I leave that hairhead vampire alone, there is no telling what kind of mess she'll create. She obviously up to no good, since we saw it in the mansion just spewing all the stuff. So I guess we have to intervene? They say a soldier values swiftness. The seed of disaster is something that shall be plucked before they have a chance to take root. I would better look the lady in white away from the school, before she has a chance to cause any mischief.
先生、気持ち貧血なので保健室に行ってきます。
Even if I raised my hand to be excused, I have already left my seat and started making a beeline for the hallway. I don't have time to wait for permission. Taking advantage of the brief window where everyone is started to react, I hastily make my escape from the classroom.
Ah, 来た来た。そんな全力で走ってくるなんて、仕切ったら元気なんだ。
My mouth hangs wide open. The target I came to intercept strode clear across the campus and has made it all the way to the inner courtyard. Thank goodness. If there is any classroom facing the courtyard is only a godsend.
でも、学校って狭くてシンプルなんだね。外から見た感じ、もっと硬くて頑丈でアリ塚みたいにバーッと広がってると思ったのにな。これじゃ普通の建物だよね。うん、子犬っぽい感じで私は好きだけど。
お前、ちょっと来い。
Naturally, I have no time for leisurely greetings. Without stopping to explain myself, I grab Arquid by the hand and start running. I take us around the back of the gymnasium, which is generally deserted. At this hour, having an exit through the main gate will draw too much attention. The best move here is to ask her to leave out the back.
ちょっと、こんなところに連れ込んでどういうつもり？ここ、全然面白くない。
Arquid seemed a little peeved, but it's not like school building are particularly interesting to begin with.
どういうつもりか。そりゃこっちのセリフだ。お前歩く爆弾かなんかなのか。
え？歩く爆弾って私が？
そうだよ。それでも控えめな描写だよ。あのな、なんだって昼間から歩き回ってかつ俺の学校にやってきてるんだ。お前昼間は弱くなるんだろう。傷だって治ってないよな。なら夜までおとなしく休んでいるのが吸血鬼ってやつじゃないのか。
それはそうだけど、シキが手伝ってくれるんだし、昼間のうちに手がかりを見つけておこうかなって。昨日みたいにシキに無駄なことはさせられ。
それこそ余分な気遣いだっての。協力すると言った以上、どんな作業だって一緒にやるんだから夜まで待っててくれよ。 俺を心配させて楽しいのか、お前は。
ごめんなさい。
いや、分かってくれればいいって悪くエイド。
だから心配させてごめんなさい。
I feel my heart pounding, much louder than is normal. I didn't expect her to just apologize to a try like that. Honestly, it kinda took the wind out of my sails. Huh? I mean, what am I even supposed to say when she makes that face at me?
でも式も悪いんだよ。下からずっと見てたのに私に気がついてくれないんだもの。どこから中に入っていいのかわからないし、いっそのこと式のいるとこまで駆け上がるところだったんだから。
Yeah, I knew it. If you just ignore it, you would have just done something stupid.
いや待て、駆け上がるって3階の俺の教室まで。
ええ、デコボコもあって足場には困りそうにないし、飛びやすいでしょ、あそこ。
I take back what I said. She's a bird brain as ever.
助かった。そんなことされてたら授業どころの話じゃなかった。
I thought a sign of relief. I doubt there were many students who noticed her wandering around the campus earlier.
とにかく反省したんならいい。それでうちの学校に何の用なんだよ。手がかりを探しているとか言ってたけど。
何ってただの調査よ。ローラー作業ってやつ。死者の気配がないんだもの。足で手がかりを見つけないとね。
それはご苦労様。今が夜だったらなお言うことないけどな。
次からは気をつけるわ。それでこの辺りを歩いているうちに四季の匂いがして、そういえばここって四季の通っている学校なんだって気がついたらつい。
校庭に入ってきたと。猫かと思ったけど犬かお前は。
失礼ね。ちゃんと確証があったからやってきたのよ。他の場所に比べてここは死者の気配がないんだもの。どんなものか実際に見ておかないとまずいでしょ。
いやまずくないだろう。死者の気配がないんなら関係ないってことなんだから。実際学校では事件も事故も起きないし、夜になると誰もいなくなる。死者が人間を襲おうとしたら学校じゃなく街に出るだろ
う。まあそういえばそうだけど。
ここに異常なんかないよ。吸血鬼の気配はわからないけど、俺だって死を見る目を持ってるんだ。死者が歩いてればメガネをつけていても異常だって気がつくし。
分かったわ。四季がそう言うんならここに異常はないかもしれない。
ないかもしれないじゃなくて、ないんだって実際。
Look on Arquid's face make it clear she's still not convinced.
やば、昼休みになっちゃったか。
While the back of the gym isn't exactly a popular destination, there will still be one or two students passing by on their lunch break.
とにかくこれ以上ここにいられると騒ぎになる。ちゃんと約束は守るから、お前は早く帰って体を休めておくこと。今日の夜にも敵とやらに出会うかもしれないんだから。
ふん、なんだか私を追い出したいみたいな口ぶりね、シキ。そんなにここにいられると迷惑？
迷惑じゃないけど、いろいろ頭が痛いんだよ。気に入ったならまた都合のいい時に案内してやるから、今は早く外に出てくれ。
Give Arquid a nudge on the back, showing her way. Without saying a word, or with a look in her eyes that speaks volumes, Arquid takes her lead. With the tension broken, I can finally breathe easy again. That is lunchtime. I will better grab myself some nourishment in preparation for the rest of the afternoon. I could swear I just heard a faint noise come from the shadow at the far side of the bike parking. Acting as I thought I'm simply taking a casual stroll, I sidle over the area that I've been hiding for view by the bikes. Teacher? Sure enough, there is nobody lurking around by the dead end. It must be been a stray cat or something. I finish my lunch and return to the classroom, where I find Ariko. There was no sign of him all morning, so it looked like he came to school simply to eat lunch.
Oh, Tano, はよっす。
This guy really does only turn up when it suits him. Unbelievable. If word of Arquid had spread through the entire school, it would definitely have driven a wedge between the two of us. I'm so glad she decided to go home without making a fuss.
なんすかその冷め切った目。かわいそうだけど、サイン券抜かれたら1枚10円で売られる CD なんだな。みたいな目で人を見るのやめてくれない？
そうか、悪かった。ちょっと一悶着あって疲れててさ、つい本音を隠しきれなかった。次から気をつけるよ。
マジっすか？でも隠すべきは今の発言の方ですよ。
Ariko keeps on grumbling, but decides to return to his seat. Instead, he's restlessly eyeing up the exit at the back of the classroom. It looks like CIA is seriously planning on ducking out again now, and that he's had his lunch.
んじゃ今日も一日ご苦労さん。俺はネット越しにたくさんの仲間とちょっと世界を救ってくるわ。
Mariko cheerfully goes to leave the classroom. Addressing his retreat figure.
なあ、北口駅前が物騒だって前に言ってたけど、それ以外にヤバめなところって言えばどこだ？
I'll be my vague question.
なんだい突然に。北口デパート並みにヤバめなスポットなんてそうそうねえぞ。強いて言うならあれか？伏塚の廃病院じゃねえか？2年前までヤンキーどもの集会場になってたものの、今じゃ誰も寄りつかなくなったっていう。
櫛塚って二駅隣のか。でも廃墟が物騒なのは当然というか、普通誰も寄りつかないだろ
いやだからさ、誰もいなくなったんだよ。ある日を境にぱったりと。そのヤンキーどもの姿がな。30人近い行方不明者ってことで今でも捜索願いが出されてる。こっちは階段レベルの話で、北口みたいな暴力沙汰じゃねえけどな。今じゃ不老者も住み着かない行政の不良債権みたいな場所だよ。
Homeroom meeting to decide on what the classes will be present for the upcoming school festival next month was expectedly contentious. Various opinions were thrown around, but the opposite view of the boys and girls provided irreconcilable, and the decision was postponed until next week. After school, club activities have been prohibited. The students who hurried make their way home.
さて。
There is no point in aimlessly wasting my time in the classroom. If you're gonna check the possibly vampire nest now, it's gonna end up like last time when we checked the department store alone. But I'm such a curious cat. And I have more life than I can spare. But not Shishiki. Sad for him.
櫛塚の病院か。
It's unlikely the arc will spark whatever happened there, but it probably is a waste of time to use what's left for the day to scope out an ominous place like that. It's a world to stop away by train, so I don't give it good odds that I'll find anything trying it what happening to Soja. Still, I've still got some time left before nightfall, so I might as well go check it out. Once I've arrived at the Kushizuka station, I transfer to a bus and ride for 20 minutes. Even from the closest bus stop, it still takes me a further 20 minutes on foot. Nestled in an industrial district set far apart from the neighbor residential area, there stands the skeletal remain of the hospital quietly crumbling away. Even from my vantage point, by the main gate, I could take a pretty good guess as how to sprawling it is inside. It must have been a pretty important hospital before it was abandoned. Grass is slowly encroaching on the on the buckling asphalt. Various parts of the ward, visible in the distance, appear to have collapsed. I wonder if it was a fire that originally put this place out of commission. Even if it was, there's far too stark contrast between the more run-down parts of it and the areas that were less affected. The sky looks so high out there. With no tall building crowding around to block the view, there is nothing but a vast blue sky stretching out in all directions. Even though dusk is soon approaching, its spotless brilliance is enough to hurt my eyes. I cut a hole in the barbed wire with my knife. I take a quick look around in the grounds, but doesn't spot anything out of the ordinary. I even go so far as to remove my glasses, but I can't see anything resembling these arrayed lines I've seen on the dead. It seems there is nothing more to this place than an abandoned building, long forgotten and left to rot. This lead may have been a waste of time, but it's just a normal part of the investigation. I return to the main gate and check when the next bus is coming. Looks like the next one back to the station leaves in 10 minutes. I might be able to make it in time if I run. I wearily shrug my shoulders and decide to run back to the bus stop. Okay, so we didn't did good for us. I return to the mansion. The sun hasn't set yet. There is still time until Akia returns.
アキハ、今朝から怒ったままだろうな。
It's a given that she'll be upset about my conduct. I haven't really been acting respectfully the whole time. I've been back up at the mansion. I like to think I could resolve everything by just explaining the situation to her, but there is no way she believed me if I started going on about vampires. For now, I'll just have to grit my teeth and play the part of the reprobate older brother.
お帰りなさいませ、四季様。
ただいま翡翠。わざわざ出迎えてくれてありがとう。アキハはまだ帰ってきてない。
はい。今夜は特別遅くなるとのことですので、ご夕食は四季様をお一人で済ませるようことづかっております。
I see. That's a shame. I was hoping to at least have a chance to chat idly with her. I guess I'll just go back to my room and rest for a bit.
四季様。
何翡翠。
After quickly glancing around the lobby, Hisui calls out to me once again.
つかぬことをお伺いしますが、四季様は今夜もお出かけになるのでしょうか。
Hisui gazes straight at me. She's clearly aware that I'm planning on sneaking out in the mansion, but I don't think I have any case for concern there. I mean, she already noticed I'm not in my room every night. It's natural for her to assume that I'll be heading out tonight as well. What does worry me is why she asked that question. Even if she simply wants to know well back to fulfill her role as a maid, telling Isue is basically the same thing as telling Akia. This isn't a question that I should treat lightly. Well, she will know regardless. But if I tell her now, she gonna warn her sister. But I don't think it's her intention. I think it's just concerned. Hisui and Kohaku are in charge of managing the mansion. There is no way I'll be able to slip a lie past them, no matter how well crafted. Given that, I should at least be upfront about the fact I will be away from home tonight.
ああ。実はこれから何日か夜は出かけることになる。でも誓って悪い遊びをしているわけじゃない。秋葉には嫌われる一方だろうけど、途中でやめることはできないんだ。
That's right. There is a mysterious vampire on the loose, claiming the lives of who knows how many victims, and the only one who can stop them is Arquid. As a human being who lives in the city, I cannot look away and pretend that everything is okay.
翡翠にも迷惑をかけるけど、しばらくは見過ごしてくれると助かる。0時になったら帰ってくるから、玄関の鍵だけ開けておいてほしい。
私たちに理由は話せないというのですね。
I'm going to party?
そうだ。ごめんな翡翠。だらしないやつだと思って今は何も聞かないでほしい。
いえ、四季様は私の主人です。主人をだらしない方と蔑む使用人はおりません。
His answer matter-of-factly, her expression blank. With that, the conversation came to an end. I bow my head to her and start to climb the lobby stairs.
お待ちください。
But then, Yuzui calls out for me to stop. Her voice was more subdued than I ever heard it before.
その差し出がましいことなのですが、
Yuzui trails off, but then clenches her hand tightly and returns to stare right at me.
四季様さえよろしければ夜に出かけることを明葉様にお隠しすることができます。
それって口裏を合わせてくれるってこと？
はい。夕食後、明葉様をお部屋からお出になることは稀です。就寝前の見回りは私と姉さんがしておりますから、その報告を怠ってしまえば四季様のお部屋の様子は誰にもわからなくなります。
いや、そりゃ助かる。助かるけど、いいのか？明葉は二人の雇い主じゃないか。
私の主人は四季様だと申し上げたはずですが。
I still don't really know what to think of that myself. Back in the beginning, I was asking her to stop attacking Sama to my name. Now here I am, feverishly thanking her. Hisui, in her own way, listened to my shoddy excuses, and then he said that she would help me.
ありがとう、翡翠。そうしてくれるととても助かる。
それでは今夜からはこちらのカードキーをご利用ください。明葉様の言いつけで屋敷の正門の暗証を変えたのです。こちらのカードキーでしたら深夜でも正門の鍵は外れます。
お、さすが明葉。対応早いな。
That was close. If I were gone out without knowing, I might have spent sleepless night loitering outside the front gate after I tried to return.
私からの提案は以上です。夜の外出をお止めはいたしませんが、どうか怪我のないようお気をつけて。
Yusi makes one final bow and takes her leave.
やった。
I receive a helping hand right when I least expected it. With this, I should be able to sneak out of the mansion without having to worry Akia. After eating dinner alone, I return to my room. It's a little before 10 o'clock.
よし、行くか。
I tuck my knife in my pocket. I leave my room as quietly as I can. It must be due to the serial killings. I didn't run into anyone on my way here, and the park is seemingly devoid of human presence. There's only the solitary silhouette of a woman in white.
四季
お
But for whatever reason, Arvid shouts at me as she see my face.
なんだよ。もしかして時間間違えたか俺。
そうもう何時だと思ってるのよ。約束の時間を10分も過ぎちゃってるじゃない。
10 minutes? I mean, despite the fact that I left the mansion before 10 o'clock, I would have needed to sprint here to even have a chance to making it on time. Arvid, meanwhile, seemed like she must have arrived at 10 on the dot.
ああ、悪かったよ。こっちもなんとか10時に合わせたかったんだけど、こっそり出かけるのに思いのほか手間取ったんだ。お前が携帯を持ってたら。
I would have been able to get in touch with her to let her know, but the thought of texting back and forth with a vampire strikes me as completely insane.
いや、なんでもない。次からはちゃんと時間を厳守する。今回は多めに見てくれ。
もうこれから殺し合いに行くのに全然自覚がないみたいね、あなたは。
Arvid's pretty angry. You can almost see the steam coming out of her ears. Is it possible she actually get here way earlier than we agreed to meet?
なあ、アルクエイド。何時からここで待ってたんだ？
私は起きてからすぐここに来たから、やってきたのは7時ぐらいかな。
7時って、じゃあ3時間以上も待ってたのか。
That's what she was planning on doing after showing up 3 whole hours ahead of schedule.
うん、なんかおかしいみたい、私。
Arvid muses out louder to herself. Seems like I'm not the only one surprised by her action.
まあ、遅れた俺も悪いけど、そっちにだって問題はあるぞ。約束の時間より前に来て勝手に待たれても困る。
もうそれとこれとは別問題でしょ。式が遅れたってことは変わらないんだから。
それはそうだけど、しかしなんだって3時間も待ってたんだ。間違えてきたにしろ、それだけあれば部屋に戻っていてもよかったじゃないか。
そんなの私にだってわからないわ。なんとなく楽しいし、このまま式を待っていてもいいかなって思ってたらいつの間にか10時になってただけなんだから。
楽しかったってなんで？
さあ、自分にだってわからないって言ったでしょ。式に殺されたせいかしらね。私、体のどこかが壊れて治ってないみたい。自分でおかしいって思うんだけど、体のどこがどうしておかしいのか点でわからないんだもの。
I don't have any answer to a statement like that. I'm this bastard responsible for dismantling Arvid's body into 17 different pieces. She will tell me that something's now wrong with this as a result. What can I do but bow my head and apologize?
まあいいわ。時間もなくなっちゃったし、無駄話をしている暇なんてないものね。
ああ、そう言ってもらえると実に助かる。
でも次も遅れるようなことになったら、その時は直接家に迎えに行くわ。約束を守れないのは式の方なんだから、文句はないでしょ。
それはダメ。約束はちゃんと守る。守りますよ、そりゃ。けど不測の事態はいつでも起きるだろう。時間に遅れるなんてのはその最たるものじゃないか。なんで間違っても二度とうちには来ないように。ただでさえ秋葉に誤解されたままなんだ。これ以上引っかき回されたらマジで部屋を犬小屋にされかねない。
ふん。秋葉って式に全然似てない妹さんのこと？
似てないは余計だけど、そうだよ。
そうなんだ。式はそんなに妹さんが怖いの？
あのな、どこの世界に妹を怖がる。
His little sister is the sentence I can't quite bring myself to finish. It's not like I'm particularly afraid of Akia. I do find her a little difficult to deal with.
単に妹には余計な心配をさせたくないだけだよ。昔からあいつには迷惑をかけてきたから、できるだけこのまま何も知らないままでいてほしい。
なるほど。あの妹さんには優しいのね、式は。
基本的に俺は誰にでも優しくしているよ。最近になって例外が一人できちまっただけで。
それって私のこと
わかんないやつだな。今のは皮肉で言ったんだけど、褒めたんじゃなくて悪口ってやつな。
だ。そうなの？でも私は式の例外ってことでしょ。私ね、そういうの嫌いじゃないんだ。
Arkady keeps on smiling. It was a carefree smile, like that of a child. I feel strangely flushed. He seems I'm running a temperature. I think that if I stare at it much longer, it might draw out something sinister in me. So I pointedly averted my gaze.
本題に入ろう、アルクエイド。昨日と同じように吸血鬼探しをするんだろ
と、そうだったわね。今夜はメガネは外さなくていいから、私の後についてきて。
Just spot the vampire first, and then let Shishki remove his glasses. It's better that way. We strolled through the city evening glow. Harvey says she had a specific destination in mind, but hasn't let me on the details. As a result, It feels for me too, as though the two of us are simply taking a leisurely stroll together through the city streets.
今夜はピンポイントで見てもらうわ。まずは騒がしい方ね。
Say an arcade sound in the direction of the downtown area by the station. The city doesn't sleep, even though it's now past 10 o'clock. An array of various light and sound all line up to create an exhibit of civilization. It's a city where fashion changes every few months. A voice rides the vampire in white, a figure unchanged through the centuries. Well, maybe centuries is a bit of an exaggeration. I just remember hearing that vampires are immortal and can live more or less forever, so it feels like an appropriate word somehow.
シキ、あのビルを見て。6階建ての細い方。入っていく人間たちに線は見える？
普通だな。死者は出入りしてない。
外れね。次に行きましょう。はい、メガネかけて。先は長いんだからあんまり無理しないように。
Arcade had mentioned this afternoon that she's made some educated guess about where the dead might be patrolling. It turned out that she found out 6 places in total. Well, the first 2 were bust, but the third, a rental property, was the real deal. The security guard going in and out, one of the vacant tenant rooms, was a cluster of line of death. The look on my face told Arvid everything she needed to know. She entered the room, leaving me in the corridor. They came back out again a minute later, unruffled.
ごめんなさい。ここも外れ。低級の式だった。この辺りは昨日借り尽くしたから完全に警戒されたわね。
Although it was faint, it could sense a hint of a disappointment from Arquid as she shrugged her shoulders.
何よ、ニヤニヤして。私の失敗が楽しいの？
いや、違うよ。いつも気楽なお前でも気を落とすことがあるんだなって。
それどういう意味？私だって人並みに壊したり潰したりしますよーだ。
Although I prefer it should be said she can feel sad and troubled, just like anyone else instead. My sense is probably a tall order for her. I just keep my mouth shut. We sneak out of the rental property and head towards our next destination. The time is close to midnight. As one would expect, there aren't as many pedestrians about, and the lit neon lights are also becoming fewer and farther between. The bright lights of passing cars streaks by. Arqui dances down the street like she's trying to catch up to them. After striking out a fifth time, we head towards our final destination. It appears to be in the residential district. RP doesn't say it, but I can somehow tell that this one was going to be the real deal.
しかし分かってはいたけどまだるっこしいな。足で調査するしかないなんて前時代的にも程がある。
昔から吸血鬼退治は面倒なものだもの。町のどこかにある親元の棺を探し当てるんだから、そう簡単には終わらないわ。
そっか、ならいいって別に嫌がってるわけじゃないぞ。単にアルクエイドも大変だなって思っただけで。
私は別に大変じゃないよ。決められた作業だもの。手順を踏んでいけばきちんと終わるものだし。
I absent-mindedly respond with a simple, I see. When it comes to vampire slaying, Harquit is coolly rational. She will dodgily pursue and complete any task that might bring her even one step closer to her goal, no matter how menial they may be. I suppose that even if you're able to jump 10 meters in the air, it doesn't mean all your behavior is equally over the top. Now that I think about it, the same was true on the day we first met. She's more than capable of pulling off the same stunts, as bluff she's feeling like it. But despite that, she had shown discretion for human society when out the hunt for other vampires.
ってなんだよ、人の顔をジロジロ見て。ちゃんと前向いてないと転ぶぞ。
やっぱりこれって不思議なことよね。ねえ、式は私といて平気なの？吸血鬼退治とか怖くないの？
はあ
I cannot let her be taken back by her sudden question, or rather, by the fact that she's only now tired asking it. She wants to know if I mind being here with her. I know the answer to that without even having to think about it.
別に平気かどうかなんてただの襟好みだろ。俺たちは利害が一致した協力関係なんだし、そりゃ吸血鬼は怖いけど町のためなら我慢するさ。
Mother Circuit, seemingly convinced. After that, our conversation trails off. In complete silence, we walked down the deserted sidewalk. We are a long way from the station, I know. We might not have much to show as a result of the past 2 hours, but strangely enough, it doesn't feel like the time was wasted. The problem has been resolved, but we definitely prevented the situation from becoming worse. Perhaps riding that feeling of fulfillment.
でも気を使わなくていいのはいい。
I speak the feeling I never put into words before.
四季？
だから気楽だってこと。俺は根本的にろくでなしだからさ。お前みたいに頑丈なやつがいてくれると、なんていうか。
It's reassuring. My heart can be at peace. My vision is broken. Total Shichi cognition is corrupted. You are something that should have never exist. There's obvious conclusion that I've believed before the past 7 years. They all seem to fade away when I'm with her.
ねえねえ、それってつまり私が式を楽しくさせてるってこと？
逆。おっかない吸血鬼と一緒なんだぞ。災難極まってるだろ。気が楽っていうのはどう転んだって今以下にはならないってことだよ。
おっかないってどの辺が？
山ほどある。殺しても生き返ってひたすら追いかけてくるとか。3000度の高熱をあちちで済ますところとか。ガムテープとかビルの屋上まで駆け上がるところとか。駅前をお釈迦にするところとか。
And if I had to use all your power to protect me from love by billowing cold.
岩盤をちゃぶ台返しするところとか、人の体によくわかんないものを塗りつけたりとか、あと昼間に学校に来るところとか。
はい、そこまでで結構です。式の気持ちはよくわかりました。
いいのか？まだもうちょっとだけあるぞ。
いいわよ、自覚あるから。ふんだ、どうせ私は吸血鬼ですものね。
I'll quiz up the pace and start speeding up.
待てってば。お前が本気になったら追いつかないぞ、俺。
I also break into a light jog, and just after her retreating back. Our sixth destination is not just around the corner. We arrive at the apartment complex, located square in the heart of the residential area. Unusually a remarkable four-story building. Nothing unusual about it. Every floor has around 4 units, most of which have the lights on. The residents are yet to go to sleep, and they are each passing time in their own way. Whatever those activities are above board, or isn't something that people looking from outside can know for sure. I can see the lines. The city puts on my brain, makes me want to throw up. This place is strange. The lines running along the building don't look any different than usual, but there is something oddly chilling about them. Perhaps it's the brilliant white of the light leaking from the rooms. Or maybe it's the woman just returning to the apartment, on whose body the lines of that draw a dense whirling maelstrom.
そう、やっぱり当たりね。
Rather than heading for the entrance to the complex, Arquis sets off down the slope leading to the underground garage. A shutter has been lowered over the entrance.
普通のマンションだけど、ここなのか、アルクエイド。
ええ、このシャッター、人よけと消臭の結界がかかってる。あれはカメラかな。私の姿を捉えてるけど、中の死者たちにもう逃げる時間はない。昼間、私一人でやってきていたら逃げられていたでしょうけど。
Arquis stops down and puts her hands on the edge of the shutter. I thought she would pull it up in one go, but
シキ、このシャッター切れる？
そりゃ切れるけど、いいのか？
ええ、私よりシキが適任。無理やり開けると警報が鳴るでしょ。
she's got a point. Now the time has come to act. Arquis is totally level-headed.
シキはガレージの入り口にいて。ここが巣なら、中には10体近いアンデッドがいるはず。相手が1体だけならシキの方が強いけど、2体以上になると不利でしょうから。
Well, I can question the statement, but still.
別に俺はそこまで。まあいいか。わかった。切るぞ。
I severed the lines on the shutter. With a crashing sound, the iron door falls onto the concrete floor. I peer through the hole cut in the shutter into the inky blackness beyond.
なんだ、この匂い。
The odor is repulsive. The smell of rotting flesh pervades the inside of the garage, and the air is heavy with the scent of blood. That's scary. A group forms, each member a squirmish mass of lines. They must have noticed I had visitor as soon as I cut through the shutter. In total there are 22 of them, with as many of their dead around. There is no doubt that this place is their Sire's stronghold.
アルクエイド、予想より数が多い。ここが根城なんだろう。ならやっぱり俺も。
ここは根城じゃないわ。ただの食堂よ。大丈夫。起きたばっかりのフシなんて虫みたいなものだし。シキはそこで待ってて。すぐ片付けちゃうから。
マジか。
My brain just seems built to keep up with the unexpected series of events unfolding before me. First I was forced to bear witness to this gore-clogged grave of a garage. And I am watching a magnificent figure on a skating display. The combination doesn't exactly leave a good taste in my mouth. Scores of the dead wake up and swoop down upon their visitors. They are torn apart by a single swing of her arm. The wangs swarm in, dead flesh scatter in all directions, yet no one drop of that spray falls upon the figure in white, whirling in its center. I've seen it time and time again at this point, but it's still enough to take my breath away. That's right. There's no way that those corpses could put up a fight against her. Their abilities are different, their views are different, their planes of existence are different. This is what it means to defeat someone with one hand tied behind your back, to be truly peerless. In Arquid's eye, vampires that merely suck blood probably look no different from us humans. They are simply prey. I had it coursed through me. It's the price I pay for exposing my eyes. I can't put my glasses back on just yet. Even though Arquid said she could take care of it, alone there are still more than 10 corpses remaining. At this pace, she'll wipe them out in less than a minute, but until her fight is over, I won't. Arquid is acting strange. Her movements are becoming sluggish. She hasn't taken any hits at all. She hasn't ever let the dead get close enough for that. And yet... each and every time she tears a part of one of the dead, her face seems to contort in agony. She's a sweeping wave of devastation. There is no longer a need for excessive violence. She can settle this with a single swing of her arms. And yet, as though reaching a final violent crescendo, without showing even a speck of restraint, the wet figure pulverized the thing that was once human. At the heart of that bloodbath stand Arquid, short as lamp, straining to catch her breath. That idiot. I don't know what's come of her, but she wasted way too much energy. If she were acting normally, she would have taken care of them effortlessly, with only a tenth of the violence.
アルクイド
Call out to her from the entrance to the garage.
あ、どう？見ててくれたしき。今夜はこれで終わりだし、あなたの前だし、いつもより張り切ってやっちゃった。
お前な、こんな物騒な張り切っちゃったとか初めて聞いたぞ。
Put it out of sight. Jeez, giving me a break already. To think that excessive violence was simply her trying to show off in front of me, I seriously don't know how to respond to that.
まあ、
Oh. What's that?
確かにちょっと見とれたのは事実だ。
Hello, watch out. The cheerful atmosphere is cut short. My thoughts come to a screeching halt. My consciousness goes blank. The thing before me is so outlandish, I can't but doubt my own eyes. How long has that been there? No. How long had I simply failed to notice it? The Black Panther appeared in the back alley. The burning corpses. The dead masquerading as humans. I've seen all sorts of strange things the past couple of days. I went through all kinds of new experiences. But they were all things with bad basis in reality. Variation or entity that exists in the real world, an extension of things that we already know and comprehend. But that thing is different. The air it gives off is different. The species it belongs to is different. The process through which it came into being is different. It's a pregnant alien? That creature is utterly alien. It shouldn't exist. Not in the city, not even in Arquid's world. Guess I guessed it right. The thing has the same shape as a human. It carries the same scent of the dead as the dead. However, it has renounced all the trapping of humanity. It is not a member of Homo sapiens. I sense no sign of the respiration critical for life. I can spot any faculty that seems to respond to light. Yet my instincts can still understand, however vaguely, that this creature's sole purpose is to prey on others. Even though I have never seen anything quite like this, I do know something that resembles it. A spider. It looks more like a spawn of Cthulhu. My thoughts are still frozen in place. I can remember how to use my throat. With a grisly sound, the flesh of his abdomen peels away like a receding tide. That unfolding flesh wasn't just the fat from its stomach, but something solidifying to what seemed like arms. The multitude of arms undulate eerily, like the tentacle of a cephalopod, and at their tips,
アルカイド
I cry out. Sensing something is amiss, Arquid spins around. One of the wound tentacles lashes out like a whip, aiming straight for the nape of Arquid's neck. It happened in an instant, but it still wasn't fast enough to take Arquid by surprise. Very close were enough to tear those dead to shreds like sharp scraps of paper. Against them, the fate of a vulgar whip of flesh is a foregone conclusion. Except, her hair-rending claws weren't enough to sever that whip of flesh. Arquid's glances blow does little to slow its advance, and he snakes around her white figure before sinking his teeth into her back. It's time to you do your part, Shishki. I hear the click of a trigger being pulled in my skull. A grotesque dead hiding in wait. Things like that can happen. The unanticipated hardening of the skin. Things like that can happen. Far more repugnant than the death I can before. Things like that can happen. As if that wasn't enough. Consider enough to think I can kill Arquid. It I release a second, then a third whip of a flesh. That can happen, can't happen. How foolish. That idiot. She's not the sort of woman to be bested by a monster like that. If only she hadn't done that. If only she hadn't been so reckless. I can believe this. She's sustained a new wound. She let herself be driven into a corner. Her breathing is ragged. Her movements are shaky. She just sat there and took a hit. And then even he would have been able to dodge. I'm so glad that I didn't put on my glasses. If I had, I might have smashed them to pieces in my fury. The grotesque looking dead leaps around in what seems like excitement. As he stands before the prey, he would ordinarily never been able to reach. A vulgar smile spread across its face, extending all the way to its cheeks. It's mine, my responsibility, my duty, and because of me, and because I killed her that she's fallen to the floor. Yet even though I killed her for no other reason than my own pleasure, she forgave me. She forgave my failure as a human. I won't let those misshaped mouths get a taste of her. I slice, plunging at the headlong like an animal, with no artistry in my movement. I simply sever it. Am I running towards it? Is it coming towards me? It doesn't matter. My legs will not falter. The second arm is unleashed. I like the sweeping roundhouse wing that came before. It's a tight first. So such that from my perspective looks like a single point, a jab, boxing term, a technique that involves minimal movement, but exceptional speed. It may look powerful, but it moves faster than the human eye can follow, and by extension, faster than the body can dodge. No problem at all. If I can dodge it, then I'll just have to tear apart apart as it comes to me. And just after the fling back, the red lines of death go haywire as they disconnect. I don't even have to think as efficiently sever each successive line. The creature was doing its best to defend itself, but its left leg is now on the verge of death. The only thing left to worry about is bite, but I've already reached the place where I needed to be. They pierced the rambling point, located to the upper right of its navel. I heard no screams of agony as it died. Like a mechanical doll, whose batteries had been removed, the grotesque death ceased all movement and passed away. You made it look easy, Shichiki. After finishing the job, I'm finally able to breathe again. The surroundings are scattered with fragments of rotten flesh. The dead I took down has already turned to ash. It doesn't look like anything to the dead that Arkut killed. I guess the grotesque looking one was a special case. But I killed it. He might have been a surreal appearance, but I took his life without hesitation. I can think clearly. It was nothing but a mindless violence just now. I did not take any of the sensei lesson into consideration. I simply let my emotion run wild. Even though I know I shouldn't have. I acted like a killer that I have always feared. Regret, self-condemnation, loathing, disappointment. Once I calm down, I will surely be racked by this emotion. But that's okay. I can live with that. I will pick that over Arquid getting hurt any day. Just now, for the first time ever. I used my power for the sake of a single woman. Without hesitation, I keep falling control of my sanity as I did so. Turning around, I see that Arquid's shoulders are trembling, and she's struggling to breathe.
大丈夫かアルクエイド
And we will find out next time, because I have to take a break. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.